Preparation of consolidated cash flow. How do I prepare consolidated cash flow? Same concept, item by item basis. You need to do item by item addition. Same way, mutuals are eliminated. The mutual payments are getting eliminated, kind of it. So how do I prepare this? This is all items of operating activity, investing activity, financing activity are added on item by item basis. Intercompany transactions are eliminated. Intercompany transactions are eliminated. So you had some intercompany debtors, वो सब gets eliminated. Automatically cash flow में similar effect will come. Remember, cash flow from operating activity, there are two ways of preparing, direct method, indirect method. Cash flow from operating activity, only operating activity, two methods, not for entire cash flow. Operating activity, two method, direct method, indirect. Indirect method, we start with profit. But our profit is not the operating cash flow. We start with profit. Profit is not the operating cash flow. We do adjustments. So we start with actually PBT. Illustrative format given in AS3, Accounting Standard 3, starts with PBT. As well as Ind AS also, it starts with PBT. So we start with PBT. We do adjustment for two things, non-cash item and items relating to other activity. Start with PBT, adjustment for non-cash item relating to other activity. We get cash flow from operating activity before working capital changes. Start with PBT, non-cash item, item relating to other activity. You get cash flow from operating activity before working capital changes. Now all your working capital changes. In your working capital changes, you had a direct relationship between current liability and cash, inverse relationship between current asset and cash. Current asset goes up, cash goes down. Current asset goes down, cash goes up. You have an inverse relationship between current asset and cash, direct relationship between current liability and cash. Yeah, the clear? Okay, then. After that, we get cash flow from operating activity before tax, then we deduct tax. And we get the cash flow from operating after tax, that is your net cash flow from operating. So indirect method. Direct method, cash inflows added, outflows deducted. But for indirect method, you need a lot of information. Collection from debtors, paid to creditors, which generally will not be there. From balance sheet P&L, you can prepare cash flow by indirect method. From balance sheet P&L, you can prepare cash flow by indirect method. Now, if we are preparing a consolidated cash flow, it would be simple if subsidiary was acquired many years back. If many years back subsidiary is acquired today when I am preparing, it's just a normal preparation. Like when I am seeing increase in debtor, my debtor plus their debtor, dono consolidated debtors ka increase. When you see increase in creditor, consolidated creditor ka increase. It's very simple. It's very simple. Purchase of new machine, the simple. You see consolidated machines, plant and machinery. But if subsidiary is acquired in this year, then it becomes bit problematic. If subsidy is acquired in this year, it becomes bit problematic. What problem will come? Let's understand with the question. This is consolidated cash flow statement. Subsidiary acquired in this year. Okay. A Limited acquired a subsidiary B Limited during the year. A acquired B during the year. Consolidated P&L balance sheet is given. Consolidated P&L balance sheet is given. Consolidated P&L revenue, cost of sale, GP. Now see, this is not as per schedule 3. Schedule 3 doesn't do like this. They have given it, take it. Depreciation, other operating expense, interest cost, provision for profit before tax, tax, profit after tax. Cash flow starts from before tax. Cash flow will start from profit before tax, already given. Now we have a consolidated balance sheet. This is 16, this is 17. 16, 17. Now just see, figures are 17 and 16. Interpret it properly. So cash and cash equivalent has increased. Cash and cash equivalent has increased. Trade receivable has increased. Inventory has decreased. PPE has gone up. You would have purchased. Goodwill. Okay, goodwill. Fine. Trade payable has gone up. Income tax payable. This is provision for tax. This is actually a provision for tax kind of payable. Okay. Long term debt has gone up. And total liability cap equity. Shareholders equity 35 becoming 90. Okay, this is 35 and this is 90. Okay, other information. All the shares of B were acquired for 74,000 in cash. You paid 74,000, you acquired all shares of B. All shares, no minority. All shares were acquired. That's why therefore there is no minority interest. Check your balance sheet, you will not find minority. Therefore there is no minority interest. Okay, fair value of assets and liabilities assumed. Okay, you took over them. The assets and liabilities coming from them. Assets and liabilities coming from them is inventory comes 4,000, trade receivable 8, cash came 2, PPE came 110, trade payables came, long-term debt came, and difference is actually goodwill. Goodwill is actually the kind of difference. It is kind of the balancing figure. If you just see, this all assets liabilities came, this is what you paid, difference is goodwill. So if you check asset liability coming 4 plus 8 plus 2 plus 110 minus 32 minus 36 56 56 56 we paid 74 18 is goodwill. 18 is goodwill. Prepare a consolidated cash flow statement. Prepare a consolidated cash flow statement. Let's start. I'll explain it while solving. What is the change coming. For intermediate, not important, but you should know bit of it. That's why we are doing it. Okay, question number is 22. Consolidated cash flow statement of ABC Limited for year ended 31st March 17. 31st March 17. The format is particulars rupees. Inside rupee, I'll just write all things. Operating total will go outside. Investing ka total will go outside. Financing ka total will go outside. Okay, so this is the format. Starting with cash flow from operating activity. Cash flow from operating activity. Leave some 15 lines. We are using indirect method. We will start with using indirect method. We'll start with profit before tax. It's given. Check your PBT given 70,000. Inside, total will go outside. Okay, leave around 10-15 lines. Operating activity, leave around 10-15 lines. Okay, then cash flow from investing activity. Cash flow from investing activity. Leave some 3-4 lines. Cash flow from financing activity. Again leave 3-4 lines. Again leave 3-4 lines. Net cash flow during the year. Net cash flow during the year. Okay, net cash flow during the year will add cash and cash equivalent at beginning of year. We'll get cash and cash equivalent at end of year. Okay, this is your format. This is your format. Operating may leave around 12 lines. Investing, financing, 4 lines. We get net cash flow during year. Add cash and cash equivalent at beginning. We get cash and cash equivalent at end. Add cash and cash equivalent at beginning. We get cash and cash equivalent at end. Okay, let's start. See, money which you paid for acquiring subsidiary. Money which you paid for acquiring subsidiary will appear as investment in subsidiary investing activity. Money which you paid, 74,000, which you paid for acquiring subsidiary will appear as investment in subsidiary investing activity. That is investment in subsidiary investing activity. तो उनसे जो assets coming, उससे cash doesn't go. Don't show that separately. So imagine we have basically PPE increasing, but PPE came from them. We feel PPE has increased. It's not purchase of fixed PPE. PPE increasing is not purchase of PPE. It's coming from them. So if you just see PPE opening, if you just see यहाँ पे PPE opening. What was PPE opening? ये रहा 80. Just pay attention. PPE opening is 80. Coming from them is 110. 80 plus 110. Opening 80 plus 110 came from them. Now deduct depreciation. Deduct depreciation 30. So minus 30 is depreciation. Closing 160. There is no addition, no deletion. We might be feeling, oh, there's addition. Actually, there's no addition. It came from subsidiary. Whatever comes from subsidiary is not purchase of PPE. No. It's not purchase of PPE. It's investment in subsidiary. So don't take it in purchase of PPE. PPE 80 plus we got 110 from them. 110 is not basically cash outflow. No. It's investment in subsidiaries outflow. Investment in subsidiaries outflow. So 80 tha, 110 came. 80 tha, 110 came. The total became 160. Depreciation 30. Closing is 160. There is no addition, no deletion in PPE. There is no addition, no deletion in PPE. Okay, goodwill came. 18. Earlier goodwill was not there, now goodwill came. It's not like purchase of goodwill. No. It is investment in subsidiary 74. Cash goes out 74. उसमें ये सब हो गया. So you need to take care when you're thinking what is new, what is purchase sale of fixed asset, or what is increase decrease in debtors creditors. You need to take care at that time. Okay, let's start. First of all, we start with PBT 70. We start with PBT is 70,000. Now I need to do adjustment for non-cash item relating to other activity. You start with PBT, go up, don't go down. You started from here. So profit is not your cash flow. Profit is not your cash flow. That's why we are doing adjustment. Okay, we have an interest cost. Profit may it is debited. We took this 70 may 4 is already deducted. Profit has gone down. But due to interest, operating activity should not go down. Interest comes in financing. So profit has gone down, operating cash flow should not go down. We are finding operating cash flow from profit. Profit has gone down, operating cash flow should not go down. Add. The operating may add. In operating, we need to add interest. And there's nothing outstanding. About interest, so deduct it in financing. It's paid. Operating should not be affected. Profit has gone down. Operating cash flow should not go down. We are finding operating cash flow from profit. So profit has gone down. Operating cash flow should not go down. Add, and this will appear interest paid, financing activity. Interest paid, financing activity 4,000. Inside. Don't write outside. Total will go outside. Inside. Okay, done with interest. Uske upar. Operating expense. Operating expense are debited to P&L. Profit has gone down. Operating cash flow should go down. Their operating expense. Profit has gone down, operating expense should go down, operating cash flow should go down, no adjustment. Profit has gone down, operating cash flow should go down, no adjustment. Depreciation, non-cash item. Profit has gone down, cash flow should not go down. Add, it's a non-cash item. Add back depreciation. It's a non-cash item, add back depreciation. Okay. Tax, don't do anything. We already taken before tax. Actual tax paid will be directly deducted. We have directly taken before tax. Tax is not deducted. For cash flow, actual tax paid will be deducted, not the provision for tax. Actual tax paid will be deducted. Okay, this is cash flow from operating activity. This is cash flow from operating activity before working capital changes. Okay, this is cash flow from operating activity before working capital changes. This is cash flow from operating activity before working capital changes. 70 plus 4 plus 30. It is 104. Now let's go for working capital changes. Current asset, current liabilities. Let us take working capital changes, current asset, current liabilities. Except cash and cash equivalent. Okay, we have trade receivable. Okay, don't see this way. How I have to see? Working note number 1. I have working note 1. I'm trying to find increase, decrease in trade receivable. Increase, decrease in trade receivable. How do I find? Don't compare 50-54. No. You got something from subsidiary. That is separately shown as investment in subsidiary. So what I'll do is, your opening trade receivable. What is opening trade receivable? 50. Opening trade receivable is 50 plus trade receivable from subsidiary. Trade receivable from subsidiary acquired. What is the trade receivable from subsidiary acquired? I just write in short, I don't have a space, TRI write, or receivable from subsidiary acquired. Trade receivable from subsidiary acquired. 50 we already had, plus what I acquired. Don't say uske liye cash gone. That is part of investment in subsidiary. That's part of investment in subsidiary. What is trade receivable from subsidiary acquired? 8. Total is now 58. Compare this with closing. Total is 58. Now compare this with closing trade receivable. What is your closing trade receivable? 50 tha, 8 we got. So now we have 58. 58 at the end has became 54. There is a decrease in trade receivable 4. There is decrease in trade receivable is 4,000. Okay, so you have to compare like this. Opening plus what we got from subsidiary. What we got from subsidiary is separate. वो investment in subsidiary है. That's it. So 50 था plus 8. So now we have 58. 58 becomes 54. 58 becomes 54. Similarly, I do for inventory. And creditors. Increase, decrease in inventory. Increase, decrease in inventory. Opening inventories. What is your opening inventories? 35. Plus inventory acquired from subsidiary. How much is inventory acquired from subsidiary? How much inventory we acquired from subsidiary? Check out 4,000. So you had 35 plus 4, 39 you had. Ye 4 you paid for that. That's an investment in subsidiary. 39. Now compare this with closing inventories. 39 became 30. Decrease is 9. Decrease in inventory is 9. This is the only point you need to compare or take care. Decrease in inventories is 9. Investment in subsidiary 74 is a part of investing. That's a separate thing. Now यहाँ पे when you are calculating increase decrease, you can't compare 50 and 54. 50 है plus we acquired 8, so 58. 58 became 54. Working note 3. Increase decrease in trade payable. Increase decrease in trade payable. Debtor goes down, inventory goes down. Okay, debtor goes down, inventory goes down. Now your opening trade payables. What are your opening trade payables? 60. Opening trade payable 60 plus trade payables acquired from subsidiary. Trade payables acquired from subsidiary. दिस ओनली व्हेन देयर इज अ सब्सिडरी का एक्विजिशन इन दिस ईयर. नेक्स्ट ईयर है तब कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. नेक्स्ट ईयर देयर इज नो प्रॉब्लम एट ऑल. इफ इट्स acquired in this year, what I paid for their assets and liabilities appears as investment in subsidiary. What I paid will appear as investment in subsidiary. Okay, trade payables acquired from subsidiary is 32. Trade payables acquired from subsidiary is 32. This becomes 92. Check closing. 68. Closing trade payables is 68. So there's a decrease in trade payables. So you might feel that's an increase. No, there's no increase, there is a decrease. For all the assets liability coming from subsidiary, uska payment done, it's just an investment in subsidiary. Okay, 92 minus 68, 24. Okay, let's put it. Let's put this in your working capital changes. Trade payable is going down, inventory going down, trade receivable also going down, everything going down, decrease. Current asset goes down, cash goes up. Current liability goes down, cash goes down. Okay. Let's move ahead. Decrease in trade receivable. Okay, there is decrease in trade receivable, increase in cash. Decrease in trade receivable, increase in cash 4,000. Decrease in inventories, increase in cash. I think 9,000, I'll just check it. Decrease in trade payables, decrease in cash. Direct relationship between current liability and cash, 24. This is your cash flow from operating activity before tax. Cash flow from operating activity before tax. Minus tax paid I want. And then we have net cash flow from operating activity. Net cash flow from operating activity will go outside. Okay, now tax payable. Never take it under working capital changes because tax paid is to be shown separately. Tax payable will never come under working capital changes. Tax paid is to be shown separately. Okay, working note 4. How do I find tax paid? Working note 4. How do I find tax paid? I prepare income tax payable account. I prepare income tax payable account. 5 minutes, this sum will be over. Particulars rupees, particulars rupees. 4 lines. 4 lines. Particulars rupees, particulars rupees. Now opening is already given. Opening, closing already given. There's no tax payable coming from subsidiary. There's no tax payable coming from subsidiary. Opening, check. Tax payable 11. Closing. Closing is 12. And we created a provision during the year, which appears in P&L. We created a provision during the year which appears in P&L. When you create a provision, P&L to provision, so it appears in P&L. How much is tax payable for current year? 15. P&L to provision for tax or P&L to tax payable by P&L is 15. Okay, 11 was already payable plus 15 of current year. 11 was already payable, 15 of current year, total 26, 12 remains. So paid. This is tax paid. This is your tax paid, which will be 14,000. Missing figure. This will be your tax paid, which will be 14,000. Okay, tax paid, we got it. Tax paid, we got it. $14 deduct in operating activity. We started with before tax. Tax is not deducted. Our income tax is an operating item. Deduct whatever you have paid. You started with before tax. Tax is not yet deducted. In operating cash flow, it should be deducted. Deduct actual paid. 14 deduct. Chalo. So before was 104 plus 4 plus 9 minus 24. This is 93 minus 14. Net cash flow from operating activity going outside. 79,000. Net cash flow from operating activity going outside is 79,000. हो गया. Investing. Yes, we have investment in subsidiary. So we have investment in subsidiary. We paid 74, but we got back 2 cash. उनका cash आया ना. Investment in subsidiary. We paid 74, but 2,000 we received cash and cash equivalent. 2,000 cash and cash equivalent received. We got back 2,000. Net goes out is 72. Net goes out is 72. Now check your PP. PP ka increase decrease, goodwill ka increase decrease. I tell you, PP was 80 plus you got from subsidiary 110 minus depreciation. There's no increase decrease. There's no increase decrease. Let us have working note 5. Working note 5. Increase decrease in PPE or purchase sale of PPE. We have purchase or sale of PPE. We are trying to find purchase sale. It's actually nil. Opening PPE plus PPE acquired from subsidiary minus depreciation. Then you compare it with closing PP, purchase sale is nil. Opening PP 80, acquired is 110, depreciation is 30, acquired is positive. Or you can prepare a PP account. Or you can prepare PP account, it will get tallied. Total becomes 160, closing is 160, so purchase sale is nil. Same way goodwill came from subsidiary. 0 plus 18 came, closing 18. No purchase of goodwill, nothing. The purchase sale of PP is nil. PP ka purchase sale nil. Goodwill is nil, it's coming through that subsidiary. हो गया. Now liability में long term debt. Okay, long term debt. Check it was how much? 64. How much came from them? 36. 64 plus 36 coming. Closing is 1 lakh. No addition, no deletion. Okay, so working note 6. Long term debt. Taken or repaid. We are just finding what is taken or repaid. Actually, it's nothing. Opening long-term debt. What was your opening long-term debt? 64. plus long-term debt acquired from subsidiary. Long-term debt acquired from subsidiary is 36. Total is 1 lakh. Compare closing is also 1 lakh. So there is no repayment, no extra loan, nothing. 36 coming from them, that's a part of investment in subsidiary. 36 coming from them, that's a part of investment in subsidiary. Okay, done with this also. Now just check your balance sheet. Just check your balance sheet. They had shareholders' equity is going up. There's an increase in equity share capital. So it will be an issue. We have not given, equity shares are not given for acquiring subsidiary. Equity shares are not given for acquiring subsidiary. They are, okay. Equity shares are not issued. Just wait. I'll write a note later. Okay, there's an increase in equity share capital. The issue of equity shares. Issue of equity shares. In your financing, 90 minus 35. I'll give a note for this. 90 minus 35 is 55,000. Okay, find out the net. This is net cash flow from investing activity is 72. This is net cash flow from financing activity. $51 positive. This is outflow. Investment in subsidiary is outflow. 51 positive. Okay, find out the net cash flow during the year. Net cash flow during the year, 79 positive minus 72 plus 51 is 58,000. What is opening cash and cash equivalent? There is some mistake. Let's see. 5 closing has to be 8. 3,000 it should come. Let me just check what is the mistake done. 30. This is 4. Trade payable. This is fine. 93, 74. Okay. I think equity is 17, 16, 90. 55. I think that is the problem. Do one thing. In your question, there is shareholders equity should remain same. It will be a change in your reserves. Yeah, shareholders equity is not issue of new shares. It's change in your reserves. Check karo, 55,000 is profit going to your P&L. Check 55 will be the profit going to your P&L. Yeah. Fine. See, this is 55 is the profit going to P&L. There's no change in capital. Reserves are going up by 55. Profit going to P&L, that is reserves going up by 55. Nothing to be done for that. So outside this is 4 negative. This will be 3 positive. Net total becomes 8. 3 positive, total becomes 8. New shares are not issued. Shareholders equity includes reserves and surplus, which is increasing. Reserves increasing, profit is increasing, which is a part of operating cash flow. Ho gaya, cash flow is tallied. The only point is when subsidiary is acquired in this year, assets liabilities coming from them, they are not purchase sale or they are not increase decrease. That is investment in subsidiary. That's it. Okay, let's write down a note. When subsidiary is acquired in current year, comma, assets and liabilities coming from them is not purchase sale of asset or increase decrease in asset. It's not purchase sale of asset or increase decrease in asset. That is not purchase sale of asset or increase decrease in asset or liability. Cumulative effect of it will be shown in consolidated cash flow statement. In consolidated cash flow statement will be shown as investment in subsidiary. Cumulative effect will be shown as investment in subsidiary under investing activity. Under investing activity. Okay, this is the most important note. When I acquire a subsidiary in current year, assets liabilities coming from them is not purchase sale of asset liability, or it's not the increase decrease in asset or liability. It's the cumulative effect will be given in consolidated cash flow as investment in subsidiary. Therefore, we need to take care while finding increase decrease in assets or liabilities, while finding increase decrease in assets or liabilities. Okay, just one more note. This is make it as 1. Now second, increase in shareholders' equity is current year's profit added to P&L balance under reserves and surplus. There is no issue of new share. There's no issue of new shares. Don't think there's an issue. There's no issue of new shares. हो गया? This is consolidated cash flow statement. If acquisition in this year is there, then it is investment in subsidiary. Next year में तो कुछ problem नहीं है. You can do it normally by comparing last year's cash flow, last year's debtors, this year debtors. You can do normally. It's only when the subsidiary is acquired in current year you need to take care. It's only when subsidiary is acquired in current year we need to take care. Okay, the last home assignment question is for your homework. Last home assignment question is for your homework. It is consolidated P&L plus MCQs are for your homework. The MCQs and last home assignment question are for your homework. And I'll tell you one thing today, the importance of writing practice. Seriously, how much writing practice is important. We as a student understand the lectures. Your syllabus are very vast. To go and write everything again is difficult. You can't write it. And if you're writing, that's a wrong practice. You will never have time to understand. So we spend lot of coaching hours. Home, we might go through the sums. It looks easy. I tell you, when I see the sums, when I listen the class, it's easy. When I go through, it's easy. But when I try to do it, I do lots of silly mistakes. And that's why this home assignment comes into picture. Every lecture of ours, I've given you home assignment. I told you, one question a day keeps the attempt away. The one question in a day you need to solve and practice it so that you know how the sums are being done. It's not just going through. Understanding is simple, doing it is difficult. Plus, it will help you to increase your speed also. Like I tell you, for me, in my CA final, I had written 2 mock test exams before I wrote my final exam. With 2 mock tests, all subjects, 8 subjects, I've written 2 mock paper before I wrote my final exam. First mock when I wrote, I was able to complete only 80 to 85 marks of paper. Imagine, I'm writing, so I'm able to understand, oh, speed is low. Next mock, I tried to increase my speed and I was able to complete 90 to 95 marks. Still I'm not able to complete. Final exam when I wrote, I was able to complete 95 to 100. 5 papers, I was able to complete 3 papers. 5 mark I could not complete. Imagine, first time when I wrote, all papers were 80, 85 marks. Yeah, 15, 20 marks you don't write in 8 papers. 150 marks you're not writing, man. कहाँ से result आएंगे? Second time when I wrote, my speed increased. And third time when I wrote, it was 95 to 100 marks I was able to write. So see, that writing practice is very important. One, this home assignment will help you. Second, I'll always advise you have to write mock test before your exam. 1 is minimum, 2 are advisable. 1 is minimum, 2 are advisable. Sir, how do I get the papers? ICAI comes out with a mock test paper. Better is write that. They also upload the solution, you can check out. Now, 1 paper from my side with solution I'll give you. 1 paper from my side with solution. I'll share it on our Telegram channel. So you need to subscribe to Telegram channel. Don't forget. All updates, amendments I give over there. So I will give 1 paper from my side with solution. Checking, yes, you need to do on your own. Nobody will check. Or else you can share it with your friend. You check your friend's paper, your friend checks your paper. But writing practice is very important. Home assignment will help you to increase your speed bit. And at end, 1 mock test is mandatory, 2 is advisable. 1 you write of ICI, 1 paper I'll give you with solution that you can write down. But that is once you are prepared. It should not be I've done few chapters and now I start solving the papers. No. Finish full syllabus. Revise it, then write. Do you go in examination without revision? Okay, today is costing paper but I was studying IT. Okay, I have a costing paper but in morning I was studying IT. Do you go like that? You study 2 days costing, then you go and write costing paper. You study 2 days basically auditing, then you go and write auditing paper. So when you write mock test of ICI or paper which I give you, please make sure you revise the entire subject, then you write. Then you write, your sums are getting correct, you feel confident. Otherwise, without revision if you write, you're not able to recall, again you will fall down. You will feel I don't remember anything. So please revise and then write mock test, not without revision. Okay, see you all tomorrow. Tata, bye-bye, take care.